Yeah, I echo that of like, what was I doing beforehand? Because there was a version of me that like would just eat a hot dog and hop on the field like when I was like 12 and would still just ball out. You know, she knew nothing.
We might laugh, we might learn, we might be your game's missing piece.
Hey guys, welcome to the Soccer Girl Pod. In this episode, we're talking to Manchester United and U.S. Women's National Team goalkeeper Phallon Tullis-Joyce. At 28, Fallon has had an incredible journey through the game so far. She started her career at the University of Miami before playing in France and then joining Seattle's OL Reign. Since 2023, Phallon has been at Manchester United where she earned the starting spot last season, and she did so well that she shared the league's Golden Glove Award for Best Goalkeeper.
Phallon also had a breakout year on the international side, getting her first start with the U.S. Women's National Team. We talked to Phallon about how she handles the ups and downs of elite goalkeeping, why it's important to have passions outside of the game, and how she was in a rainforest filled with vicious caterpillars. You're going to have to listen to find that one out. Phallon has all of the awesome qualities of a pro. She has the desire to grow, she's always adapting, and she knows how to stay grounded by going outside and having passions outside of soccer. I can't wait for you guys to hear this conversation.
Okay, but before we get to Phallon, we know a lot of you are in the thick of things with your season going on, cooking up some team pranks, maybe on your coaches, underclassmen, perhaps a ref or two. So we're going to do some blind reaction to some of the best pranks.
Dude, I have the giggles already because I love this trend so much.
I don't think I've seen this.
Oh, this is my son. Don't play with me right now.
These are my favorite. I think they are so, I've seen ones where the coaches are like so pissed, like they take the hands of the players they're holding, they throw them down, they like stomp out of the screen. If you go to the comments, everyone screenshots like mid-jump with the coach's legs like cleared out to the side and posts it.
Like
I bet. Hit the comments. I guarantee you there's a picture of him mid-jump.
That is so funny. Do you think he had any idea? He looks so happy.
I don't know why any coach would fall for any time their team said they want to do a trend.
I love it.
This one's cringy.
Money! Yeah! Give me my money! Yeah!
Give me my money! Yeah!
He dabs.
At least he did.
At least he dabbed.
That's awesome. That one was like a lot of people too, like first, which made it even like more cringe. This just kept going on and on. Yeah, this is a good trend.
3, 4, 5, 8, 11, 12. Why are they running over there like that?
They should have not came back though. I would have left.
What are they doing? What? What are they doing?
All right, well, hold up, because now this was a very understanding coach, but if we ever pulled this shit, forget it. Could you imagine during like a Spellman if we just ran off the field and left?
No.
We would be punished for the rest of our lives.
But I mean, they came back and still kept running. I feel like you'd have to get like a really fun coach where they're just like, okay, it's over. Like we can go inside and laugh for a half hour.
This was a gentle reaction by that coach. The fact that it made her giggle instead of enraged was nice. Bonus points for her. I was not expecting that.
I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but that was good. I've never seen that one.
I love this.
That's a good one.
This would embarrass me so much. I have no idea why, but it would just fill me with embarrassment.
Oh yeah, especially if you're a freshman and you don't know the team yet. Like that's like your second or third time hanging out with everyone. That would be brutal.
I feel like this is only a prank that a freshman could fall for because you learn so quickly that you're never going to be dressed nice like 0% of the time. I remember even going in for preseason, I like packed all my clothes, like jeans and like nice shirts and stuff. And nothing was on my body besides soccer clothes and sweatpants for at least 2 months.
I don't think I ever wore a dress like until maybe like the first time we went out. Like even going to class, it was like I'm wearing my soccer stuff. So that would be tough as a freshman to show up like that.
I feel like those pranks were good, but I feel like they could get a lot better. I don't know if you agree, Shannon, but I feel like you guys could pull off some good pranks, and we want to see them. So if you have video evidence of pranking your coach or a teammate or the freshmen or the seniors, slide into our DMs with that video. We can feature you. And this shouldn't have to be said, but make sure they are harmless pranks, okay, people? We're not savages. Nice pranks, no violence, nothing crazy like that. All good laughs.
Fallon, thank you so much for coming back on. It's great to see you. So you're in Manchester right now. Nice.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice, moody night in Manchester.
I feel like it's moody there a lot, right?
All the time. You know, it's been such an interesting 2 years that I've had. I've had the first year of just building myself, just grinding out that entire first year. And then just having my first experience in the WSL and understanding what it actually means to be a Manchester United goalkeeper. Just hit the ground running in that first season. It just everything just kept getting harder and harder. But, you know, that's honestly, you know, very lucky to have that happen.
I was going to say, did you have that like freshman feeling when you first started being a newbie?
Yes, absolutely. I was just like, oh my gosh, like, new tactics, new teammates. You know, you got to make sure you have that great connection with your center backs and everyone involved also. Yeah, so yeah, everything was fresh.
I'm so curious, what drew you to being a goalkeeper? Like, did you find the position? Did the position find you?
I was probably like a midfielder or forward, like since I started soccer when I was 4 years old. And then when I was 12 was when I made the change into being like, you know, back in my day, like we just played half and half as goalkeepers is very common.
Yeah.
You know, just like the girl that played basketball was the one that put the gloves on. And so I was trying out for a Long Island United team. They're just gathering all the best players in Long Island. And I was actually trying out as a field player. And the goalkeeper at the time didn't want to be a full-time goalkeeper. So then I was just always in the games we played before practice would start. I was the one that was just in net the whole time. So the coach was like, oh, let's put you in. And it never came out. And then the love of goalkeeping came once I started training, specifically like one-on-one private trainings for goalkeepers, for being a goalkeeper. Absolutely loved it. Like I was watching videos of Manuel Neuer, Keylor Navas, flying over poles, flying over garbage cans, flying over the kid that had to train with me. Like it was just like a lot of fun just being crazy. So I just loved it.
Did it ever feel isolating for you, or did you like the one-on-one or like the solo kind of part of being a goalkeeper?
I think there's quite a big part of me that likes like the tagline of like the individual sport within a team sport, because you just get the best of both worlds. You get the personal challenge of just being in such a unique position, and then at the same time you can go to your center back and be like, oh gosh, that was rough. Like you're not, so it's not always on you, but then when it comes to your big moment, it is all on you. So yeah, it's a nice little balance there.
How do you deal with that? Because I feel like so often, I mean, especially at probably the younger levels, like college and younger, I think people only notice like the mistakes of goalies. Maybe a great save here or there, but then one goal in and they're blaming the goalie. Like, how do you deal with those feelings? Or do you not feel like that's something that you have to deal with anymore?
No, that's ever present. That's constantly. We just had a scrimmage against Liverpool, and I'm still thinking about the goals that we conceded. As you get older, the narrative in your head starts to change. Like it's always there, where you almost err on the side of wanting to fix things so quickly and so fast, and you like think everything's like, you know, everyone's seeing that mistake that you made, and it can become quite an insecurity. But then when you kind of, especially for younger players, sometimes you might need an external person telling you that it's okay, and then also on yourself, just whatever negative statement you're making, just make the positive. Like, yes, I let in that goal, but I know what I can do differently next time. Like I've done the reps to make that save for the next time, and I'll keep doing the reps. So it is that narrative change that has helped me now in a professional career.
The thing about goalkeepers is I feel like obviously everyone notices when a goal goes in, and everyone notices when you make a crazy ass save, but there are a lot of saves and points of consistency along the way that aren't necessarily celebrated out loud. Do you make a point to kind of celebrate or acknowledge those mini successes throughout a game? Because I feel like that if you don't do that as a goalkeeper, it's going to get outweighed by every time a goal is scored.
Oh yes. Yeah, definitely. That's actually like being very honest with anybody watching has been a big struggle for mine. I'm not the goalkeeper that does celebrate the small wins. It did take like a really big one. Even the biggest saves, I still would probably think about a pass that I missed just beforehand, or a pass that I kind of went a little bit wonky. So that is like the next phase for me. And what I've been currently working on is honestly taking into account just how much I've done to this point.
What's the hardest part of goalkeeper training that fans don't realize, that someone who's never been a keeper doesn't see?
I think the hardest part about goalkeeper training is probably how much you just have to tear yourself apart and build the pieces back together. The amount of times I have changed my set position in my professional career is unreal. I'm sure there are pictures from me from the University of Miami where I just had like pterodactyl legs, like just like absolutely, I might as well have been doing a split for a set position. And then there's times where I got like little twig legs that are like this close. So like overcompensating, hands here, hands there. The amount of times that you have to rebuild yourself to really find yourself has been personally very challenging, because you got to go through a major amount of suckage to find yourself and be that better version of yourself. And the suck really sucks.
I feel like that's in all parts of life. You have to go through the major suckage and build back up and grow from that. And it's hard. And like those are the hardest moments, but that's where like the biggest growth is, I think. Mm-hmm. Is there anything like you do before matches, like mental exercises, or do you do any visualizations or anything like that? Is there anything pre-game that you're doing that seems to help?
I do now, at this point in my career, I have a lot of tools in my toolbox. So something might work one game day or one training day, and it might not work the next day, which took me a while to figure out, because I was like, why is this not working? So there were times where I was just, right now I'm actually very specific with the music that I'm listening to before game days, and because I would just be getting myself way too hyped like an hour before the game day, and then I would just be crashing by the time the game started. I do use Blaze Pods quite a bit for reaction time, and just like a mental stimulant as well, just getting some lights and some reaction focus points. And then with the mental side of the game as well, definitely breathing helps me, box breathing for sure. And then, worst case scenario, I'm feeling like the real big jitters is I go back and I like to be kind of data-based, like to reassure myself that like I've done the saves, I've done these passes, I've done this all before, by watching even clips that I've taken from practices or games, and I'll watch them prior to trainings or games as well.
That's cool. Isn't it so interesting that as you go, you get all these tools in your tools box to use before, but then you think back and you're like, what was I doing when I had I was just like walking out onto the field without any sort of anything, didn't care about what I was eating before. I was like extreme highs and lows of like excitement. Yeah, it's crazy, all the tools that you learn along the way. But I love that you said that every game is a little bit different. And if you're really in tune with yourself, you'll realize like, oh, I'm a little bit too amped up right now, right? Like the tool I need to access today is one that's going to bring me back down and center me, or one, if you're feeling self-doubt, you find something that's going to give you that reassurance of confidence. So I love that. I think that's a great piece to hear, because you hear a lot of players like they're very habitual with their pre-game stuff, and they don't actually do a self check-in before they go to access the tools before a game. So I think that's great advice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I echo that of like, what was I doing beforehand? Because there was a version of me that like would just eat a hot dog and hop on the field like when I was like 12 and would still just ball out. She knew nothing and still was able to pull some saves. Oh,
so true. Well, besides maybe not eating a hot dog right before the game, what is another piece of advice you could give young goalkeepers starting out?
There is a hard work. You do have to pay your dues. It's all in the repetition. Honestly, I know nobody wants to hear that, but intentional repetition, whatever that is, find somebody that's good at whatever you're trying to get good at. Really just mimic what they're doing, so that way you're not just, because sometimes you can get so sucked into just doing a rep after rep and actually you're building a bad habit. So find somebody that's good at it, mimic them, and then you'll be able to tie in your own way of doing it. And then game days are game day. Let yourself just ball out. Do not hyper-focus on anything else about yourself. Just be you on that game day.
Who did you admire when you were growing up as a goalkeeper? Was there anyone that you would look to how they played or their style of play or little skills that they had and you tried to mimic?
When I was younger, I was always on YouTube watching any goalkeeper training that was posted. And back when I was starting, it was mostly like Manuel Neuer goalkeeper trainings, and then also Keylor Navas. And it was Navas who I would watch mostly because he was just flying here, there, and everywhere. Like his reaction time, his ability to just get back up for another save was insane, like a legitimate cat. I just loved watching him. I loved his work ethic, and I know many trainers have told me to slow down in trainings, but it's just like what's instilled in me, and I just love working at that rate. But those were the two that I definitely looked up to, of their standard and also how they own their own style of goalkeeping, because those are two very different goalkeepers.
It must be really cool now to like meet players who feel like they see your style and want to replicate parts of your style. Like it must be very cool now, right? Like looking back. Is there any like specific point where a player like really touched you, like something that they said, or like how you made an impact in their game or in their life?
That's actually a really nice question. After the game where we played Jamaica for the U.S. Women's National Team, their goalkeeper actually came up to me and wanted to do a jersey swap and told me, how much she appreciated what I was doing for the game. And like, sometimes you can be so sucked into just your process and everything like that. And I thought that was just so sweet. Like, it was just really nice to have someone, and I can't, sometimes I just still see myself as like this, freshly new pro still just working her way through it, that I you forget that you actually have done a lot. So major shout out to her. She had a great game as well. She had many great saves, so she and herself is gonna have a great career.
Who's one defender that you click with so well? It could be from any of the teams that you play on, but someone who you feel like knows exactly your playing style and what your decisions are in game moments, and theirs. Is there anyone that you feel like you click with really well?
I have to say, honestly, the whole back line of Manchester United, I think they're just great. They're great people. They're able to communicate so well together. I have always been just like a very serious person in the game. And like, Millie would be like, gosh, do you see that guy over there? I'm like, Millie, stop it. So she just made me laugh so much. She's like, that security guard's falling asleep. I'm like, can you please get it together? But it's just like, the people that just make it more humane, like bring you back to like you're a human playing a game.
And then on the offside of that, who is a forward that you don't like playing against?
I don't know if you can really count her as a forward, but Jennifer Marazan, when I had I was then with, it was then called OL Reign, so our sister club was Olympique Lyonnais. I had asked to train with them in the off season for a month, and oh my gosh, is she an incredibly technical player. She embarrassed me so bad one practice where it was like in open play. She faked a shot so hard that I went flying. Like, it wasn't like a PK or nothing like that. Like, she juked me so hard, I dove the other way, and she like had the ball at her feet still and just went dink. And I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, so it's not that I hated playing against her. I had a massive amount of respect and learned a lot from her.
Was that on film? Did you get to rewatch that?
Oh, I didn't take any of that film.
Yeah, I don't
know. We're just gonna move on.
Yeah, how was your experience abroad? Do you think shaped you as a player? Because it sounds like you're able to laugh on the field and like put things into perspective. Is there anything else you feel like you've grown or changed as a person off the field?
Just over the course, I just think as you get older, you just start to understand yourself more. So I think starting as like a little baby pro in the French league, starting in D2, then going to D1 in France. I remember my first game, the whistle blew and Gavon, who was then starting for the French national team, like stared me dead in the eyes. I don't know if she meant to, but she did. And I was like, whoa. I was like, I'm here. I just watched you in a World Cup. Like, that's crazy. And then now to have teammates that just won the Euros. And then playing for my country as well was just such a sweet moment. But yeah, I just think across the way, like, it's just been a super rewarding experience to just get to know myself in personal ways and knowing when to take myself away from the game as well. Mm-hmm. Knowing how much better I can perform when I am enjoying my life off the field and getting myself into nature and meeting some wildlife.
Yeah, how has it been juggling national team duties with regular playing duties? I feel like that puts a whole different wrench into things.
Yes, especially after my first camp. It was like the whole world just that graph that they show you of like how well you do when you really don't know much, and then how well you do when you realize how much you don't know. Yes. Like that was the suckage I went through after my first US Women's National Team camp, where I was like, oh, this is legit now. It was always legit at Man United, but now it's like, wow, like but also so exciting in a way, like exciting to be pushed to level up again.
You mentioned getting out into nature, and we know last time you were on, we spoke about your passion for marine biology. Is that a way for you to unplug from soccer?
Absolutely, yeah. Scuba diving especially. And then I just love making like little animations and goofy videos too. And just like,
I love them.
I've been
learned so much
enjoying
from you.
those. Keep doing
Yeah.
Welcome to Fishy Finds with me, Phallon.
Yeah, no, new fish finds coming up soon. But yeah, no, I just love, because I know not everyone gets that opportunity and is not able to go scuba diving. So I just love for them to have a glimpse into that world and just to know how awesome this planet is. You know, you're having a stressful day at work. Hopefully you can just like turn your mind off and just enjoy what you see for a little bit. But yeah, no, I'm just loving it. I was able to meet a amazing scientist here in Bristol. She, like through a wildlife filmmaking conference, she is a researcher of stingless bees, Dr. Rosa Vasquez Espinoza. And she just invited me to the Amazon rainforest in Peru. And I was like, yes, like, of course, are you crazy? I was like, you know, it was like camping, it was everything. It was like killer caterpillars.
Wait, you went?
Yeah, I went this past off season.
That's amazing.
No, it was crazy. We were like hiking. Oh, it took ages to get how deep we were. You know, it's an undisclosed location into the rainforest with an incredible people, the Ashaninka people there who are so welcoming. But then, you know, we got our tent, and then like 5 minutes away, there's a puma and a jaguar footprint. And, you know, there's like caterpillars that want to kill you there. And
it's amazing. Caterpillars want to kill you. There's pumas, there's jaguars, and you love them.
But then pretty butterflies too. So, yeah, no, it's just been like an amazing journey, and like who I've been able to meet through my professional career as well, you know. So yeah.
You're a yes girl, aren't you?
Yeah. I'll figure out the details later.
Yeah, that takes a special kind of person. I think that probably applies to like you just like going headfirst into like leveling up in these environments that are going to push you. But yeah, it's really cool to just have that instinct to be like, hell yeah, I'm up for it. And then like, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to figure it out as I'm doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
Alana, anything more before we roll into rapid fire?
No, let's hit some rapid fire.
What is the best save you've ever made?
Ooh.
Actually, last season I made a save against Brighton. It was just like kind of like a cutback cross situation, and I actually surprised myself, which I didn't think that I was gonna, you know, just kind of yeeted myself and got fingertips to it and curled it around the post, which was a very nice feeling to have. Was when you surprise yourself. That's like one of those few moments where you're like, whoa, something's happening to me. Like I've grown.
All right, what is your biggest goalkeeping fail or most embarrassing goalkeeper moment?
There was one when I was younger where there was like this groundhog on the field, and younger me that day actually ran away, and the other team had the ball and was like charging at the net. Luckily they didn't score, but I don't know what was in my head that day.
Wait, you ran out of fear, or you ran to go catch it?
No, I just, for some reason I had in my mind that it was going for my ankles, so I like ran away out of it. Like
So wait, let me get this straight. You go to the Amazon with caterpillars who can kill you, but the gopher scared you.
Yeah, 12-year-old me wanted nothing to do with that gopher at that time. Yeah.
But maybe that gopher sparks your interest in animals, and you just didn't realize it. Maybe
it changed my perspective. I didn't need to get rid of it. Yeah.
Who's the funniest teammate currently on your squad? I know you mentioned Millie on the back line, but is there anyone else who like just cracks you up?
Melvine Millar is very, very funny. She's our French player. Rachel Williams is also like old school funny. Like she's a bit of a prankster as well. So I think between the two of them, they are, it's quite a laugh.
All right, penalty kicks. Do you love them or do you hate them?
Ooh, I am going to say it's a love-hate relationship, and I am going to push myself into the love part. I'm going to push.
That's a good answer. Do you write down anywhere which way the players typically go? Because I watched that video of the water bottle and someone threw it. Like, do you put it on your water bottle or do you put it somewhere safer?
No, I don't, and I do commit them to memory. But, you know, about to be a Sharpie girl in the arm at some point. So, yeah, we just go through them extensively. And I have my own little notebook that I carry with me everywhere.
Who's one forward you'd never want to face in a PK shootout?
Oh, a forward I would never want to face in a PK. Well, Chloe Kelly is all the rage right now, you know?
Dude, yeah.
She has, an absolute first rocket.
Yeah. Would that run up mess you up with the little high knee, little skippy hop?
I think it'd be interesting, you know. Like I know you say like who would I not want to see, but I honestly want to see it. I want to face it. So I think that'd be cool.
If you weren't a goalie, what position would you play?
if I wasn't a goalkeeper, let me just give my shot as forward. I feel like if I have the same brain and put it into a forward's brain, we'll see how that works with knowing where to be goalkeepers.
All right, our last question. What is your dream five-a-side team that you would put together? This could be past, present, any players.
Ooh, dream five-a-side. Okay, I do have to pick defensively my Man United teammates, so I got to go Jade Riviere. Oh, so skillful. She has been amazing this preseason as well. Amazing last season too. Let's get Millie's quite techie, so I'll actually put Millie in there. I think I was just going to name all Manchester United players, but I'll go for Eugenie Lucemer. I play with her at Reign as well. So nice. And I think she's got quite the physique to just body people, and she's very technical. And who else will I have? Leah Galton would be great. She would body people and still is very technical. So that is my team.
Love it. That sounds like a good team. Yeah. I would be scared.
I'll put myself on now. So
yeah, you're on the team. You're on the team. Love it. Awesome. Well, Fallon, thank you so much for coming on again. It was great to catch up with you, and we're just so excited to just continue watching your career blossom and watching, all the crazy things you're doing off the field, scuba diving, Amazon. I got to look at all those videos now. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
But it's really cool, and it's awesome to see how passionate you are about the things that you love. I think it's really inspiring. So thanks so much for chatting with us. Appreciate it.
No, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Okay, that's it, guys. Thanks for joining us. Let us know who you want us to interview next, what you want to see, what we should talk about. Until next time.
Soccer girls, we got some problems. So tune in, where we talking how to solve them. We may laugh, we may learn, we might be